Charon. Can you hear me? You're safe now. Let me show you the final chapter in Saj's journey. It's important that you understand what happened back then. That you understand me. 2 days after the flying fortress had left Draconia, we finally reached the battlefield, or as the clerics preferred to call it, the vestibule of the Nether Hells.
Oh, so this is where they took you. I've been looking for you for days. Ugh! Another hit. I better hurry. No, it's totally blunt. Pretty much useless. I need something better. I could push it, but where? Why would I push the rack over there? The weight of the rack might be able to yank open the cabinet, but I only have one chance. I have to make sure the rack is as heavy as I can make it. This makes no sense without a sword. There's no space for the star. I could push it, but where? Why would I push the rack over there? The weight of the rack might be able to yank open the cabinet, but I only have one chance. I have to make sure the rack is as heavy as I can make it. I can't reach it from down here. It's firmly locked. I could push it. The weight of the rack, but I have to make... It's behind thick glass. No, if the floating stone is damaged any further, we'll crash to the ground. The floating crystals hold the various parts of the fortress up in the air. One of the enemy's missiles weakened it. We're now hovering a bit lower than the bridge to the main fortress. I should forget trying to hit anything with this. It's hanging too high. I don't much care. I mustn't lose sight of... The gap is too wide to jump, and the wall is too high to climb. The opening is much bigger than necessary for the sword. The scabbard is just a tiny bit too short. It doesn't reach the other end. No. Completely. Why does it have a hole in the middle? I can't lose my head now. I don't... Better not. I can't lose my... The vine is too short. It won't take me all the way to the top. The vine is too short. Better not. I don't see any... Now that's just a... I can't get the blade around the corner to cut through the loops. can't reach it. None of the weapons. I should forget trying to hit anything with this. No. No. The mace alone is too short to bridge the gap. I'd rather not. I don't much care. No. I can't lose. I can't. Better not. I mustn't. That won't get. That'll never. I mustn't. I don't even. I can't. Better not. I don't see. I could push it, but where? The weight of the rack might be able to yank open the cabinet, but I only have one chance. I have to make sure the rack is as heavy as I can make it. The impact made the armory lose some height. I can no longer reach the passage. It's firmly locked. I can see the staff in there. By the gleam in his eyes, I can tell he's probably yelling his head off. A strange construction, but perhaps I can use it to reach places that were inaccessible before. It's not intended to fit, but it works. No. It's heavier than it looks. I can't reach it from... It's behind thick glass. I could push it. Why would I push the rack over the... The shield isn't big enough to use for a bridge. can't lose my... I'll take the thing apart first. There. This makes no sense. This makes no... It's just standing there. There's room for 4 weapons and a shield. With the throwing star, the sword no longer fits in its scabbard, but then it doesn't have to. A long sturdy with a throw. This makes no sense without a sword. I could push it. The weight of the rack might be, but I have to make sure. It's behind thick glass. I'll tie one end to the weapons rack. And I'll fasten the other end to the cabinet. I could push it. The weight of the rack might be, but I have to make sure that... I could push it. The weight of the... but I have to make sure... The gap is too wide and the wall is... I can't reach it from down here. The glass is too thick. First I should take it. First I should take it. I could push it.
Charizard! At last! Where have you been?
There's no time to explain. We're in the middle of the war and Kasim is about to take over the fortress. The clerics are trying to keep him out of the flotation chamber. But who knows how long they'll be able to.
A flotation chamber, Princess?
It's the heart of the flying fortress. It keeps us all in the air. Kasim believes that if he alters one of the floating crystals the way the researcher changed my ruby, he can read all of the memories from the mask, and thus all the spells of the Djinn of Time.
A complicated plan for a simple-minded soul. But you'll stop him, won't you?
You can count on it. The gap is too wide to... and the wall is too... The spell only works. That only works. It's behind thick glass. It's behind thick glass. The spell only works on
The floating stone hasn't been destroyed yet. It has only lost some of its power. Perhaps I can use my magic to get it back into shape.
Awaken the floating crystal! Thanks.
You're welcome, Princess.
We're almost there.
You finally reached your goal, Mistress. The great battle against the demons.
Yes, but the worst of them is not a demon.
Looks like we've come too late.
Kasim did this. That swine.
My spell only works on plants and small animals, Charizard.
First I need an item from... that... Kasim did this.